Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. Now, millions of South African families will embark on the annual festive season road trips this weekend, with most businesses shutting down for the December from Monday. We take a moment to focus on safety first with veteran road safety practitioner and project leader for Fleet Mag Drive 4 Lives Drive Smart campaign, Ashref Ismail. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for joining us.
Walaikum salam, Sister Aisha. It's a pleasure to be with you and our viewers tonight.
Thank you so much. Now, just to get right into it, your career as a road safety practitioner spans over 4 decades. Now, at the moment, you are with Fleet Max Africa. Could you tell us more about the Drive for Life or Drive Smart campaign and how it ties with the company's overall objectives?
Thank you very much, Sister Aisha. So basically what has happened that in 2014, on my birthday 10 years ago, which is like, I think last week, Monday, I resigned from my position at the RTMC as an executive director and decided to pursue my own business objectives, but still within the road safety fraternity. So we are a fleet risk management consultancy, wherein we concentrate on the issue of driver fitness, because as you know, 85 to 90% of all crashes are as a result of driver error. So that's where we wanted to play in that space. So we established a company called FleetMax, and earlier this year, we were approached, or rather we approached Suzuki South Africa, because they are actually, probably the fourth biggest selling brand in South Africa, knowing that many of their cars are being sold to first-time entry-level buyers. And because of that, what we now have is a situation where we have what is called a trade exchange between FleetMax Drive for Life as well as Drive Smart, in which we are actually going out there, various social media platforms, electronic media, traditional radio and TV, in which we talk about advanced defensive driving skills to especially our younger road users.
That's so interesting. Now, every year we know that thousands of people are killed needlessly and senselessly every year, and we keep hearing the same promises from authorities, but nothing changes. Why do you think that's the case?
Sister Aisha, I think what we need to understand is that the mindset of the South African road user needs to change. So as much as, yes, we've got government that basically sets out rules and regulations, comes up with legislation, at the end of the day, road safety is everybody's responsibility. The risks that our people take on our roads is inordinately high. I mean, whether it's minibus taxis, whether it's moms in their SUVs taking children to school, whether it's the truck driver, whether it's the bus driver, whether it's a tipper trucker on his daily commute, doing what, transporting freight, goods, passengers, whatever. The elements of risk that are taken, just you basically park yourself off near an intersection and count how many people actually go through a red light, never mind a yellow amber light. And that will tell you overtaking on barrier lines, driving in yellow lanes, driving in excessive speed, all of which is a major, major problem, which all leads up to major crashes and, of course, claims lives.
It's a lot of irresponsibility coming from obviously the citizens of South Africa. Now, why is the level of recklessness and carelessness so high on our roads, and how much of a factor are drunk drivers?
So, I mean, even if you look at the whole issue of drunk drivers, Sister Aisha, you'll see the level of drunk driving, the level of what we call flagrant violation of rules and regulations remains very high, simply because law enforcement is not adequate. It's inadequate, it's inept, and in most cases, it's also corrupt. We know that. The whole issue of buying a cool ring, buying chocho, etc., whether it's at way bridges, whether it's at driving license centers, whether it's roadblocks, etc., all of that eventually comes back to haunt us. And that is the whole attitude that we have in South Africa. The fact that we can buy our way out of things. And sometimes, when you're driving a car, you can't really buy yourself out of a crash. A crash occurs because you've been reckless, you've been negligent, you've been irresponsible, or you've just basically been incompetent because you bought your license in the first place.
No, most definitely. That is a very common thing happening in South Africa, and it's actually very sad to know that it's also taking away so many lives. Now, what would you say is the most important safety tip for people to observe even before setting off on that road trip?
Sister Aisha, if there's one thing, there's no one single item that you can talk about, but if there's one thing that leads to a great deal of reduction in either a fatality or maybe a reduction in sustaining serious injuries, it's buckling up. Buckling up for both front passengers as well as rear passengers. You'll say, yes, but that's the norm. If I don't buckle up, the alarm is going to make a tweet tweet sound on the dashboard. And of course, I'm going to be, I'll have to buckle up. But you won't believe there are so many people who actually buckle up behind them just so that they don't have to wear a seatbelt. Because especially in locations, it's considered to be uncool. You're not, you like a muhu, they call you, if you buckle up and you seem to be, one of those scary cats out there. But the fact of the matter is, research has proven time and time over and over again. You can Google, you can go to YouTube, you can basically search any road safety campaign. They will tell you it always begins with the buckling up. Buckling up reduces your chances of being seriously injured or fatally injured by up to 70%. So it's a no-brainer. My first and most important message would be, most important tip like you asked, is please buckle up, and more importantly, make sure that the people behind you, most of whom are your beloved children, are buckled up as well.
No, thank you so much for sharing that amazing tip, and I hope viewers at home can actually take a lesson from that and stop calling people stupid or, a bit slow just because you use, you seatbelt or use a seatbelt. So now, finally, before I let you go, we do know that right now, especially at this time of the year, police, metro cops, they're everywhere, making sure that the road is safe and that everybody is actually adhering to all the rules. But I know you mentioned that for you, it's like we live in a country that promotes a lot of bribery, a lot of, fraud. So do you think our police and metro police are actually doing enough to make sure that South Africans are well informed and, most importantly, are safe right now this year?
So, the sad thing is, and I come from the fraternity, I'm an ex-traffic chief. I was involved with the Road Traffic Management Corporation for more than 15 years. I understand the sector. I know the challenges that they have as well. Resources are always a big problem. My argument has always been what we need in South Africa is called smart policing. This thing of going out there and saturating every major arterial route during the holiday periods, conducting K78 multidisciplinary roadblocks, delaying motorists who are on their way, going home, going to visit their family or going on holidays, on long distance travel, etc. For me, that is a problem. All that should have been done throughout the year. So they come this time of the year, the motorists know. If they were hammering us the way they did during the year, you can well imagine what's going to happen now. Sadly, too little was done during the year. And now it comes to a situation where everybody wants to go out there and we're going to lock you up and we're going to throw the keys away, all of which those promises come to zero. You'll see a lot of them, politicians out there donning their reflective jackets, coming out there and promising all kinds of things, throwing you into the chuki and throwing the keys away, etc., all of which nothing is going to happen. You can bet me, and I hope I'm wrong, Sister Aisha. I want to be wrong. I so much want to be wrong. But you can rest assured, after the festive campaign, more than 1,200 people would have lost their lives on South African roads.
That is very sad, but thank you so much for just giving us insight and also just reminding our viewers at home. I mean, there's so many mistakes that people make. I know we are surrounded by so many people, especially I would say the whole seatbelt situation, especially when it comes to the male, the gender males, they like to consider, like I have a colleague, I hope he's watching right now. His name is Mohammed. He has a habit of not actually putting on his seatbelt. And I really hope that he's actually taking a lesson and understanding the effects that it can actually have on the roads. But thank you so much for all your lessons and all the beautiful advice that you gave us. And I hope everybody's taking a lesson and, making sure that they keep their families safe.
Sister Amina, thank you very much. I think we must get Mohammed and your entire production team on one of our advanced defensive driving skills workshops. I promise you it'll be worth your while. You'll save money, you'll save stress, and you'll have safer roads out there. To all our listeners and viewers who are going to be on the road, please take it easy. Don't forget, be strong, be safe, be focused, and be blessed, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah so much for joining us. And again, please do have yourself a beautiful evening.
Ameen. Jazakallah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Viewers at home, that was such a beautiful interview that I just had. Make sure that you do stay alive and drive safe. But without wasting any time, we will go to an ad break. We'll see you right after this.